Hi, this is Dyslexia Month, and I'm here to talk to you about what dyslexia is. For some, dyslexia is a disability. For others, it may be a disease. But for me, it's a superpower. It's the power to think differently, to be creative, and to make connections and sense out of information that seems unrelated. It's the power that enabled Einstein to come up with the theory of relativity. It's the power that made Steve Jobs build Apple. It's the power that made Agatha Christie write the wonderful Adventures of Poirot. In fact, if you look around yourself, if something has changed the world, there's a high probability that there's a dyslexic behind it. And yet, our systems insist on boxing these non traditional thinkers into our traditional ways of learning, forcing to learn in ways that their extraordinary minds can't grasp. They're judged for their struggles in reading, writing, spelling, often called dumb and stupid, shamed for their poor academic performance, even though we know that when they're given the right tools, they will thrive and excel. My journey with dyslexia has been long and personal. My baby brother and now my youngest daughter are both dyslexic. And their journey has taught me that their minds are brilliant but fraught with the struggles of traditional academic work. But both have embraced their dyslexia, powering themselves, creating their champions around them, from teachers to families to friends, not scared of saying that I'm dyslexic. As a parent and as a sibling, I have seen them being picked on for their lack of ability to spell or read at class level, but I've also seen classmates and teachers stand up for them, saying that they are trying and that should be enough. As a parent, I've been guilty of confusing my daughter not wanting to read because of a headache as an excuse for sheer laziness. But I have learned, and I continue to learn every day, what her triggers are. Headaches from reading and writing is real. Alphabets and numbers jumping around the screen, real. Skipping lines, absolutely real. Confusing deadlines, not being able to judge time. These are real struggles. These aren't excuses. The only way to cope with this is to understand and find ways to help them cope. There are many interventions for learning language, but the use of technology for us has been a lifesaver. Speechify, other forms of online text to speech, speech to text, online videos, even alarms help keep time have been very useful. Lists for organizing. But the most important is to give them a lot of downtime, time to rest, to regroup. The list is endless. We must remember that it is not important that the student learns in the way that we want to teach them. But in fact, we must start teaching them in a way that they are willing to learn or they can learn. In all these struggles as a parent, it is our responsibility to be their champions and advocates. It is our job that we ensure that our children get the interventions and accommodations that they deserve. But most importantly, it is our duty and our responsibility to stand up for our dyslexics, not be ashamed of them. Dyslexia is not something that is a taboo which needs to be hidden, because when we stand up for them, we empower them to speak up for themselves, and then they can go out and change the world.